The wealthy have been locking in farmland profits for decades, but most investors never get access. This Farm Together review cuts straight to the numbers: what returns you can realistically expect, and how farmland reduces risk through diversification. Don't miss how this could fit into your portfolio. Imagine farmland quietly generating double-digit returns while stocks crash. In this Farm Together review, I'll break down the two things that matter most: the profits that you can expect, and how farmland can protect you by diversifying risk. If you want to know if Farm Together is worth your money, you're in the right place. Before I even considered putting my own money into Farm Together, I did what I always do. I went straight to the user reviews. And I don't just mean the glowing 5-star testimonials. I went looking for the 1-star warnings, the kind that make you pause before you invest. One Farm Together review that really stood out was from an investor frustrated with delayed tax documents. He posted an email from Farm Together confirming his K-1 forms would be delayed, sometimes for months. So that's the kind of thing that makes any investor nervous, right? Because tax season is stressful enough without your investment platform adding to that headache. But here's the crucial context that I found. Another user explained that while it is annoying, the K1 delays are actually pretty common with real estate and farmland partnerships. It often happens if the company files for an extension on corporate taxes. It doesn't necessarily signal poor management. It's usually just a paperwork timing issue, but it is something to note. Now, did that make me a bit nervous? Honestly, yeah, like for a moment. But I've seen this also happen with other real estate platforms, not just Farm Together. It seemed like a rare case, not the norm for sure. Plus, even in the worst case scenario, issues like this are solvable. You're not losing your investment, you're just waiting longer for paperwork, which can be annoying, but oh well. On the flip side, many users had the opposite experience. One investor called Farm Together a great platform: easy to use, transparent, and a smart way to invest in farmland without the hassle of owning a farm outright. She mentioned she used it daily to check on her investments and was impressed with the access that it gave her to farmland as an asset class. She felt that it was hassle-free and a strong way to diversify her portfolio. Another longtime user said that she discovered Farm Together through a friend and considered it one of the best decisions she ever made. She valued the team's expertise and careful curation of investments. Like, to her, the most valuable part wasn't just buying into farmland, but having the confidence that the deals were professionally managed and vetted. That kind of peace of mind is what keeps investors sticking around. So after reading the Farm Together reviews, I wanted to see for myself, what does Farm Together actually do? How does it work? Well, the first thing you need to know is how farmland generates returns. It comes down to two things: income and appreciation. Income comes from lease payments or contracts with farmers, and in some cases, revenue from farming operations. Then over the long term, you've got appreciation of the land rising itself in value, right? So think about it. Farmland is a finite resource. The demand for food never goes away, and with improvements made to the property, the land can sell for much more down the road. So that's where the long-term upside really kicks in. But what about payouts? Well, from my experience, lease payouts usually come in quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. And they don't make you chase down the checks. Like, everything just goes directly into your bank account. So I like being able to log into the platform, track upcoming lease payments, and see distributions add up over time. And the appreciation part, that comes at the end of the investment hold period when the property sells or when you sell. Now, where the Farm Together really brings it all together, I think, and pulls itself ahead of the competitors like Acretrader, I think, is with its three distinct investment products that I want to talk about. So if you want to pick specific farms, their crowdfunded product lets you buy fractional shares in individual vetted properties with a minimum of $15,000. It's straightforward, but you're picking each farm yourself. Then there's the Sustainable Farmland Fund. So this is for investors who want diversification built right in. And instead of like picking one or two farms, you put your money into the fund and it's spread across multiple properties, crop types, and locations. It's more hands-off and perfect if you don't want to micromanage every deal and you really want to diversify. And for bigger players, they've got the bespoke product. Here, Farm Together works with you one-on-one. You can get sole ownership of a farm, and they customize everything: the tax setup, capital structure, even the risk-return profile. It's farmland investing built to your specifications. So this stood out to me because it showed Farm Together wasn't just chasing smaller investors, but also serious about serving institutional and high net worth clients. When I compared Farm Together with Acretrader, I noticed a difference. So Acretrader focuses more on these straightforward farm by farm investments. Like, it's simple. You pick a farm, you invest, and you earn from rent and appreciation. But the catch is deals often sell out quickly, so you don't always get diversification unless you do buy into multiple farms. Farm Together, in contrast, gives you more flexibility with funds and custom deals. So it felt more like a complete toolkit, especially if you want farmland as like a serious piece of your portfolio. So that's all of the features and other people's comments on it. But is Farm Together perfect? All these great things about it? No, like no platform is going to be perfect. There's a few nitpicks people have had and that I have had. Like if I had to point to one potential downside, it's this. Farmland investing is really a long-term game. Your money is typically locked up for years, not months. This is not a place for short-term flips. If you need liquidity or you get nervous without quick access to your cash, this might feel restrictive. But honestly, this is not like a drawback. It's the entire point. It's the feature, right? This illiquidity is what forces a long-term discipline and investment strategy that protects you from your own impulsive decisions. It's a feature, perhaps disguised as a flaw. It's designed to build real, patient, long-term wealth in an asset class, right? And when it comes to the costs of the platform, I have to say, Farm Together is not free. If you're paying for their expertise, their curation, and their management of this whole thing, the you can expect some costs to that. The investment minimums start at $15,000 for their individual offerings, which position it for more serious investors rather than casual beginners who just want to throw a few hundred or $1,000 in. But for what it delivers, access to a premium, inflation-resistant asset class with professional oversight, I found the value to be there, especially compared to the traditional route of buying and managing a farm yourself, which is a massive undertaking. Now, how does that all compare with like Acretrader, for example? So Acretrader also operates a similar model of fractional farmland ownership. So if you want to check that out too, just make sure to check the links in the description for their most up-to-date investment offerings and available promos. We'll do our best to keep it current so that you can see exactly where they stand before investing and you know exactly what you're getting into. So after thoroughly testing Farm Together investment, here's my final take. If you're an accredited investor looking to seriously diversify into tangible assets with strong historical returns, Farm Together is clearly worth considering. Its blend of direct investments and its diversified fund option provides a flexibility and risk management edge that competitors struggle to match. So make sure to check that link in the description to get started and see their current investment opportunities.